The Olympic Games are finally about to go off in Paris, and that is incredibly good news for track and field, because it's just about the only time that most people pay attention to the sport anyway. And we know that all eyes will be glued to the track for the 100-meter dash on both the men's and women's sides, because Noah Lyles and Sha'Carri Richardson both are defending world champions in that event. But they're also trying to bring gold back to America. Believe it or not, the US has not won a gold medal in that event since the year 2004. But if you follow track and field, then you should know by now, that event is not where the biggest race of the games is going to go down, because Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is going to be there, defending her last Olympic gold medal in the 400-meter hurdles. And from then until now, she has been the most dominant track and field athlete that the world has ever seen. I'm talking Usain Bolt status. She doesn't just have the gold medals, she has the world records to back it up. And at the most recent Olympic trials, she went out and broke her own world record. Again. And she made it look like she wasn't even trying when she pulled it off. So on the one hand, we should expect Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone to go out and run times that only she can run at the Olympics. But the reason why the 400-meter hurdles is now must-see TV is not just because Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is going to run away from the field. There is also one more woman who now has the talent to go with her. Femke Bol of the Netherlands is going to be there, also running in that race. And if anybody in the world had even a prayer of beating Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, she is that woman. While Sydney was dominating the world, running away from just about everybody in every event that she runs, because she can run the 400 and the 200 if she wants to, Femke Bol was also putting in work. So much so that if Sydney did not lower her own world record below the 51-second barrier and actually gotten it closer to 50.5, then it would now be Femke Bol who instead would be the world record holder in that event. The truth is that up until recently, nobody ever dreamed that a woman would run a quarter mile over hurdles and do it faster than 51 seconds. But now, we have two women at the same time who are capable of pulling it off. So if you really want to see the best track and field athletes in the world compete, or for that matter, one of the biggest rivalries in this era of sports, then you need to be watching the women's 400-meter hurdles in Paris at the Olympics. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. And before I go any further, I do need to double down on that whole Usain Bolt comparison thing. And it ain't even gonna take me that long. Sydney first showed up on the Olympic stage before she turned 18 years old, just like Usain Bolt, and then came back 4 years later and won the gold medal and did it while breaking a world record. Once again, just like Bolt. She then basically went undefeated as a pro from that point up until now, and at the World Championships immediately after the last Olympics, she broke her own world record. Once again, just like Usain Bolt. And leading up to the games in Paris, nobody has really proven that they can run the times that she can run in the 400-meter hurdles. After everything I just said, I'm personally hoping that we get to see her run the open 400 or even the open 200-meter dash, because she's already proven that she can run those events and do it at the same level as the women who are winning it right now. Yet apparently she has unfinished business in the 400-meter hurdles, where she must now defend her crown as the greatest to ever do it in that event, because Femke Bol is coming for it. Just like Sydney, Femke is 24 years old, heading into the Paris Olympics, but she was also there at the last Olympics, where she got the bronze medal in her signature event, and you already know who was in front. From that moment up until now, she had been chasing down Sydney. Even if she wasn't doing it physically, she was doing it on the clock. At the World Championships in 2022, it was Femke Bol who got the silver medal, but she ran 52.2 seconds to do it. Yet in 2023, when Femke Bol showed up to the World Championships, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone wasn't there. She actually focused on the 400 that entire season. So she became the champion, winning the gold medal in that event. But in case you weren't paying attention, when she did it, she broke the 52-second barrier, and she was the only woman in the world to do it, and won that event by more than a second. And now in 2024, she shocked the world by breaking the 51-second barrier, something that only Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone had ever done. Allow me to make myself very clear. Every single woman in the world not named Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone or Femke Bol will be competing for the bronze medal at best in the Paris Olympics. We have no evidence that any of them can run, even within 1 full second of both of them. The only way that I can think of to explain what's happening is imagine a world where Usain Bolt was breaking world records and running far ahead of everyone. But then, one man from that pack decided to go out in front with him because he was the only man in the world who could keep up with him. In the sport of track and field, this is as close as we're ever gonna get to must-see TV. If you were gonna place a bet on who is going to win the gold, I would say put all your money on Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone and don't even think twice about it. At the Olympic trials, she broke her own world record. She made it look incredibly easy, and even she was surprised by it because she didn't expect to be that fast already in her training. So I figure she must have something special planned for the Olympic final. The same final that Femke Bol is no doubt going to be in. To be real with you, the only way that I see her winning is if for whatever the reason, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is not able to run up to her absolute best. And history has already showed us that Sydney knows how to show up and show out when the lights are on and it's time to perform. We really don't know how fast Sydney can go yet, because over the past few years, we haven't seen her get tested. But we now have Femke Bol to thank, because with her presence alone, she now has absolutely no choice but to run at her best in the one race that actually matters, at the Olympic Games. SCA track and field gear is here. Fast is a lifestyle, and what you wear should reflect that. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.